Alright, this is the second screen for Pixel Perfect Week 3 MGD2 build. I'm going to go through this a little quicker. This is the BlueStacks player. I like using this one because it's difficult to do two-button touch on it, so it lets me kind of play at the speed that a user would probably play at. Basically just going to roll through the motions really quickly and make sure that we're not getting any dark textures. Everything looks good. We have our enemy sprites, which I don't believe I showed in the other video, but here's the hit states, attack states. Only the bottom enemies can jump, so we're doing different motions with them. I thought the knight should kind of teleport since he has a tail. And then we have move. I'm sorry about the Google Play pop-ups, but we'll go back. Fire it back up. So we're launching again so we can go to the tutorial scene. And the tutorial scene. This is an issue with BlueStacks, it's not an issue with the app. So here we are in the tutorial scene. Everything seems to line up pretty good in terms of the UI. Events are happening nicely. I'm not going to play through the whole tutorial level just because it'll add an extra 10 minutes of silence to the video, but I want to make sure that the basic first areas are working well, which will show that all the buttons are kind of in the right place when the events are happening. And then I'm going to take a quick look at the code for how the tutorial wizard and the events work inside Unity. So we're about to get our move buttons with Pixie. So here we go, we'll cross. There's a threshold here that the player can't stop running. It takes control from her, so that way she'll run to this wall and be stopped. Jump button's appearing fine. Kind of probably test up to this bridge point. Again, input's taken from the player, so that way we can't skip this or fall into the pit. Wizard's gonna drop the bridge on Pixie. We'll have the explanation of respawn. I think everything's looking good here. So this just basically shows that everything kind of lines up well on the second device. We'll take a quick look at the code here for how the new tutorial controller works. There's a lot of parts that it can access, so I've set up public classes here at the bottom to try to clean up how this will look in the game. So that way when I'm looking at the controller here in game, I see a much more consolidated list of items that are broken into what they're actually used for. The way the tutorial primarily flows is it's based off of an integer that tracks what state it's in. Various things in the game can toggle these states, either the next button animations or invisible hitboxes that the player can't see that'll toggle the controller to move to the next state. It mainly just handles whether Pixie can move, setting animation states on the wizard, and calling various animations for Pixie. You'll see a lot of clear tutorial text which moves the bars out, or feed tutorial wizard text, or tutorial wizard is talking with a number. What that'll do is it'll send that number to a function down here that basically changes the text to the matching script. So this way I can change text on the fly based off feedback. Initially we had large sections of code that would take control from Pixie and give control back to Pixie, but I consolidated those to a single function and it actually made it more efficient, and I was able to troubleshoot issues like the button still appearing for jump when the player shouldn't be able to jump. This was the main code that was done this week. Nick should be able to check it out in the repository. Other little things is some of the switches have just simple transform move tos. Not a whole lot else to show. Target dummy is a very simple on collider to determine whether it's being hit, and it changes its sprite color. So those are the big steps for this week. Looking forward to moving on to next week.